this boulder, this thing that we call sustainability, there's still a lot of discussion about whether we're actually understanding it in the same way.
Can we even see the same boulder? You know, can we agree that we all have crummy little livers, but together we can maybe find the couple of really powerful fulcrums?
People generally are aware big changes are coming, and they're very serious challenges. And there's an ongoing need for education at many, many levels.
If we're coming from Mars and we're looking at the planet and we're trying to say this is sustainability education, what exactly would we be pointing to?
Close your eyes and imagine the perfect educational system in your paradise.
What is a quality education for the 21st century? What should students know, do, and value?
Sustainability education enables us to understand ourselves and others and our links with the wider natural and social environment. And this understanding serves as a durable basis for building respect.
How we can raise the general level of education in the world. Average public education level in the world is about grade 5. Corollary to that is understanding that it's our most educated countries, the most educated people who are leaving the deepest ecological footprints on the planet.
Because we believe that sustainability requires rigor. But it's a different type of rigor. It's the rigor of integrative knowledge that is different from the rigor demanded for disciplinary-based knowledge.
All of us are struggling with the same issues and how to integrate sustainability in a systems sense and how to approach it in a way that still values not just the information, but the space that people are coming from.
We need to be talking to students about what does sustainability mean? What does sustainable development mean? What does it mean in metaphorical terms? What does it mean conceptually?
Traditional ecological knowledge is a huge source that can be coming to help us.
We need to be restoring ourselves, our society, and of course at that point, that's exactly what music and culture can do.
Where does community as educators and learners, where do we fit in? Where do non-formal educators fit in? Because I think as parents, as nonprofit organizations, as community members, we have a lot to share.
By rooting or by anchoring that sustainability education in community, then we get at a lot of our other goals and objectives. We make it real, we make it place-based, we make it meaningful.
One of the things that's really powerful for me is the ability to take this and bring it back into my community. There are a lot of venues within a community to create learning opportunities.
What we're doing is what we call the strengths model, where we go in and we share the problem. So we talk about, we can recognize that change is happening too quickly and most of the change is unsustainable. What is it that you are really good at, that you can contribute, that will help to address that change?
Partnership and collaboration at many levels is just so important. We're trying to do that in Manitoba. You've talked a lot about that here.
If anything, leaders, and I count all of us here today as leaders, we don't have enough time for reflection. And that's a really huge value for a day like today for all of us.
And so one of the big themes was time for this to percolate through teachers' brains, through how they envision it, how they understand it, and professional development, but over a sustained period of time.
I personally felt a real intergenerational dialogue going on, and just how people of an older generation perceive it as kind of this horrible thing that the younger generations are facing, and how younger generations are viewing it as this great opportunity to take what we have and to make something better.
It's an opportunity for us to recreate our society.
As educators, despair is not our business. We have to be dealing honorably and honestly with the questions of hope.
The question isn't why, but it's how.
We're doing everything we can in Manitoba, and we're going to try to do more to support educators in our schools, because that's where the teaching and learning happens. From where I sit, that is, as a deputy minister of the K-12 system, it is one of the most important things I think I can be doing.
The ministry and government itself has to really be open to ideas, and we have to find some really concrete ways that we can make sure that a group like the BC Network is actually feeding ideas into government, and that we've got a really open system in that sense.
If every building, every school board was mandated to make their buildings sustainable, that would provide a working model to experiment and test drive, and it could be driven from the bottom up by teachers, supported from the top down, and it would allow them to develop their own resources, and it could be a whole learning model.
In my situation, in my classroom, I can prepare kids for the test, for the English 12 exam, and I can still teach all of this. It can happen, and it's not difficult.
I talked to a statistician at BCIT who wants to get involved and doesn't know how, and I said, why don't you just start positing math examples that look at things like the ecological footprint.
We want to do something different. We want to have a joint committee between Senate that brings together academic and the Board of Governors who take care of things like facilities and maintenance and things on campus to work together. Let's do something different. Let's think outside of the box.
My teaching world, my teaching day begins when I get on my bicycle, because just simply being on a bicycle today is a model for everyone else who sees you in their cars. And so we all have to be the models. We all have to be the change we want to see.
I'm taking away the importance of the network. It is absolutely critical. From my perspective, in being able to actually move this ahead, it won't work if it's just one institution or one or two. It's got to be K-12, it's got to be the post-secondary sector, it's got to be community and labor and everybody we can think of. So there's a lot of interest here from a whole bunch of sectors, and so we've got to keep growing the network.
This being, in a way, already a forming community of practice, it's also a network of resources. If we can get access to that through the website, again, that's going to be a tremendous resource for those of us that do want to be able to do things in the community.